Hello, fight fans. Welcome to Fight Numerology, and today we are breaking down UFC Fight Night Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. And the card is great. Four fighters fighting for might be next title shot, and great card. And what one thing I can see here is most of the fights odds are quite one-sided. So let's see which underdog can perform well and who has the numerology edge in this event. Let's start with the main event. Arman Sarukyan versus Dan the Hangman Hooker. Both the fighters are in their prime, but Arman Sarukyan is quite younger fighter and Dan Hooker is 35-year-old, whereas Arman Sarukyan is just 29 in his prime, just entered. So let's see what we can see here. Arman has quite dominating wrestling, I can say, and way too higher level of wrestling than Hooker. But Hooker is a dog, a war dog. So Arman Sarukian has date of birth 11th October 1996. Driver 2, Life Path 1, a great combination. Many fighters of UFC of elite level and won the titles have the Life Path 1, and Arman Sarukian also have the Life Path 1 with combination of 2, the same combination Khabib Nurmagomedov have. Khabib also have driver 2 Life Path 1 combination. It is a very powerful combination and one of the very best in numerology. And also going through his year number 3, which is the number of Jupiter, which gives a success and promotion or an achievement. So this is a good year, I can say, for Arman. And whereas Dan Hooker has driver 4, life path 7, it is also a great combination. 4 and 7, they are made for each other numbers, and great combination. Going through his personal year number 6, which is average, I can say. Last year was not that great for him. Year number 5 for driver 4 is not that great, but this year is great. Not, but not that great in the extent of when we compare it to Arman's time. So I am going with Arman Sarukian in this one. He is quite a heavy favorite in this matchup, and he should be because the numbers also favors him as well as the technique. So I am going with Arman Sarukian in this one. Now let's break down the co-main event of the evening: Bilal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Gary. Both fighters are great, and Bilal is 37-year-old, whereas Ian Gary is just 28. Significant youth advantage to Ian Gary, also sharing significant height and reach advantage as well. But Bilal shares a wrestling advantage in this matchup, and Ian is not really tested against wrestlers yet. This is his first caliber test, and Bilal is former UFC welterweight champion and has fought best of the best. And quite an interesting matchup in the paper, but Ian is heavy favorite in this one, and he should be because he has great record and also on good winning streak, also good in distance management. Let's see what their numbers say. So Bilal has driver 9, life path 6 on Universal Day 6, which favors him, but he is going through his year number 7, which is an average. Whereas Ian Machado Gary has driver 8, life path 9, uh, average combination, but these opposite number 8 and 9 creates a different vibration where the person can perform great or he can just vanish under these numbers influence because the vibration and power of these numbers are quite high because they are opposite. They create a lot of energy, and if you did not directed this energy to great direction, you will be lost. So It is a two-sided sword, and Ian Machado Gary is going through his personal year one, which is the year of Sun. So this is also a average combination. On Universal Day 6, his life path 9 is not that favorable against number 6. His driver 8 is little bit supportive, but Bilal has significant numerology edge here on the fight day, and I am going with Bilal Muhammad in this one, even though he is quite older fighter, 37-7 year old, but still I think he has something. And also the last fight he won against Ian Gary, sorry, Leon Edwards. The fight day also had the life path 6. So the day was also the total of the date of the day, the fight with Leon Edwards was also 6. So he accepts the fights where the day has life path 6. So this is an interesting thing about Bilal. Even it might be a coincidence as well, but this is a noticeable thing. So I am going with Bilal Muhammad in this one. The next matchup is Volkan Ozdemir versus Arnaldo Manifield. Both the fighters are quite older. I can say 36-year-old Volkan Ozdemir versus Arnaldo Manifield, 38-year-old. And both the fighters are going through their year number one, the number of sun, which gives a new beginning, a new achievement. So, which fighter is gonna have a new phase of their life begins here? Let's see. Walker Ozemir has driver one, life path one, a great combination, and going through his personal year one, which is also great for him. And whereas Arnaldo Manifield has driver 9, life path 8, and going through his personal year number 1, which is also great. So, personal year number 1 with driver 1 is more powerful than personal year number 1 with driver 9. Both the fighters are going through their good phase of time, but the edge goes to Volkan Ozdemir in this one. So I am going with Volkan Ozdemir. This might be inside distance as well. So let's see. Next one is Jack Hermanson versus Matt Bez Orabai. So Jack Hermanson has driver 1, life path 6, a great combination on Universal Day 6, and going through his personal year 7, which is quite point of concern, I can say. And whereas Rebes Oberoi has driver 1, life path 3, a great combination, and going through his personal year number 3, which is great and a powerful combination 1 and 3. Both the fighters have a powerful combination, but Jack Hermanson is quite older than Orabai. Orabai is just 27-year-old, where Jack Hermanson is 37-year-old. In all the four fights, the fighters one-sided means there are most of the matchups the young versus the old generation. I mean, 7 year gap, 8 year gap, and 9 year gap. It's a significant age gap in these fights. So I am going with Oribai with in this one, and so seeing their profile, I think Orobai has more chances of winning as he is going through his personal year 3. But Jack Hermanson also has days significant as advantage because his life path 6 is very supportive on the day. So the fight will be very competitive and might be go to a split decision, but a slight favor to Orobai in this one. So let's go to the next fight of the card. Sergey Spivak versus Shamil Gaziev. Spivak is Oh, I forgot every time. Sergei Spivak versus Shamil Gajiev. Sergei has driver 6, life path 4, going through year number 7. A great time for him. And whereas Shamil Gaziev has driver 1, life path 4, a great combination as well. Whereas going through year number 3. So a lot of fighters in this card are going through year number 3 or year number 1. And Shamil Gaziev also going through his year number 3 in this one, and he has powerful profile as well and quite a good record and on a winning streak and also have momentum behind him. So I am going with Shamil Gaziev in this one. Next one is Alex Perez versus Asu Elmabeo. Elmabeo. So Alex Perez is driver 3, life path 9, a great combination 3 and 9, but he is going through his personal year 6. 3 and 6 are opposite numbers when it comes to numerology, and on universal day 6, 3 will also suffer some disadvantages, whereas Asu Almabayev has driver 7, life path 4, a great combination, almost same as Dan Hooker, but in opposite. And going through his year number 8, also not great time. And average time for him, I can not say average, it is not a good time for him as well. Both the fighters are going through their bad times this year. And but the Universal Day 6 favors a slight Ashu Elmabayev. So I am going with Ashu Elmabayev in this one. Quite difficult pronunciation. Now let's move to the next fight of the card. Bogdan Grade versus Luke Riley. It is also a quite interesting fight, and Bogdan has driver 1, life path 7, a great combination, and going through his personal year 1, which is also a great time, a new beginning, and he performed well in his last fight this year as well. Whereas Luke Riley is undefeated, having combination of driver 3, life path 1, a great combination, but going through his year number 9. Year number 9 is the year of endings. It suggests ending before something new start next year. So he might start his new journey from 2026, but might have foundation here. So also have a little bit chances here of winning, but his driver 3 is not aligning with Universal Day 6. So I am going with Bogdan Grade in this one. Next one is Abdul Rahman Yakhayev versus Rafael Carquera. Abdul Rahman has driver 3, life path 6, and combination of opposite numbers, and why he's undefeated and going through his personal year 4, whereas Rafael has driver 6, life path 1, a great combination, but not a good record in UFC. Going through his personal year 9, which is also not that great. So I am going with Abdul Rahman in this one. This one is Tajir Ulanbekhaye versus Kayoji Hariguchi. Tajir has driver 7, life path 8, and going through his personal year 6. And whereas Kayoji has driver 3, life path 5, and going through his personal year 4, which is not good for his driver and life path as well. Number 3 and number 5 both are not supportive for number 4. So this might create some problem for Kyoji in this matchup. And I am going with Tajir Olanbekhoyev in this one. The next one is Bagzat Almakhan versus Alexandre Taporia. Bagzat is driver 8, life path 8, a great combination going through his personal year 9 and 28-year-old, whereas Alexandre Taporia is driver 1, life path 9, a great combination, but going through his personal year 2. So both the fighters are going through almost same time phase, same age, but Baghdad has driver 8 life path 8, a rare combination, whereas driver 1 life path 9 combination is also very powerful combination. So the fight will be close, very close, and I can give a slight advantage to Baghdad Elmabakhayev in this one. And let's start next one. Ismail Narudinaev versus Ryan Loader. So Ismail has driver 9 life path 6 combination same as Bilal and going through his personal year number 8, which is an average time, but he is just 29-year old, whereas his opponent Ryan Loader is driver 5 life path 4 and going through his personal year 2, which is not great, and he is 34-year old as well. So a slight numerology advantage to Ismail Nasruddinayev because he is having a life path 6 on universal day 6. So I am going with Ismail in this one. Next one is Narulo Aliyev versus Sham Rock. Narulo is driver 8 life path 4 and going through his personal year 2, which is not great. Whereas Shamrock has driver 5 life path 2 going through year number 7, which is also an average alignment. And a slight advantage I can give to Narulo Aliyev in this one. He's undefeated as well. So I'm going with Narulo in this one. The next one is Nicholas Dolby versus Saeed Izagakhev. Nicholas Dolby has driver 7 life path for a great combination, but he is 41-year old and going through personal year 1, which is great, but he is quite older fighter for mixed martial arts. And whereas his opponent Saeed is 31-year old, having driver 3 life path 8 and going through his personal year 3, which is in perfect alignment with his driver 3. So I am going with Saeed in this one. The last fight of the card is Marak Buzilo versus Daniel Freeman, Denzel Freeman. So both the fighters having driver 1 life path 6 combination and going through Marak. Marak is going through personal year 2, whereas Freeman is going through his personal year 3. Freeman is slight experienced, I can say, and the experience is the only thing I can say because both the fighters has same numbers, driver 1, life path 6, but being 2 year older than Marak, Daniil has experience advantage. Also, his life path is more active than Marak, so I am going with Daniel Freeman in this one. So thanks for watching Fight Numerology and stay tuned for next events prediction. And thanks for watching. God bless.